Hello all, welcome to Brigumula Paddhati. This is about the sage Brigu and the galactic center Mula Nakshatra. In the previous class of ATV, we have seen some basic pointers about Brigumula Paddhati. Now, to make it simple, we have just taken one small chapter of a classics called Faladipika. What happens there? Ayurbhava. We have derived the first 4 years of Matru Karma. 5th year, 6th, 7th and 8th year will go to the Pitru Karma. 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th respective fall to the individual karma, and the cycle repeats. Now, some of my students used to question, they found that the Jivapada, no doubt it triggers the events, but they told me about the correction which we have to run for Jiva Shesha. The Jiva Shesha correction is done because Jupiter is considered itself as the Lagna. Consider one example. If the Lagna is Cancer, Karka, Cancer, and we'll make it as 10 degrees. 10 degrees Cancer. It will be 9.51 or 10.05. We will make it as 10 degrees. And Mars is placed in Ashlesha, 24 degrees. Now we have the ascendant in Cancer, 10 degrees. We have Mars in 24 degrees of Cancer. Well, we know that 1 degree of the zodiac in Brigumula Paddhati, we account it for 12 days. 12 days. So, one sign of Cancer, 0 to 30 degree, is 360 days. So, 360 divided by 30 gives 12 days. Now, the concept of Jiva Shesha is also like the Lagna degrees. If you consider 10 degrees, to make it easy, I have considered 10 degrees. 10 into the number 12, because for 1 degree it is 12 days we have to account. The elapsement of Lagna is 10 degrees. So 10 degrees makes 120 days. 120 days. The difference between the Lagna degrees and Mars is as follows. Very simple. You can take a diary and a pen, you can note it down. The 24 degree Mars is in Cancer, just 14 degrees away from the Lagna. If Lagna is 10 degrees and Mars is 24 degrees, 24 minus 10, it's very simple. The proximity is it is not that close proximity. 14 degrees is the difference between the Lagna and Mars. So now the Jiva Shesha also works in the similar way. The Lagna is 10 degrees, Mars is 24 degrees, the difference is 14 degrees. So if we calculate 14 degrees into 12, that should be, 140, and plus 28, 168. Simple. 14 into 12 makes 168. So 168 days it is. So 168 days. So we can conclude that some significant event is going to happen to that particular native who is born in 10 degrees of Cancer and having 24 degrees of Mars in the Cancer only. So 168 days from birth, because Lagna is to join, Lag and Na. Lagna means to join from the previous birth. So 168 days after the birth, some event is going to happen regarding the ownership of Mars. Mars owns the Lord of the 5 and he is the Lord of the 10th for the Cancer ascendant, and he is near the debilitation. So after 168 days from birth, something going to happen regarding the Mars. Yes. If you consider 1 year and 168 days, that is 168 days is nothing but 5 months and 18 days. 5 months and 18 days. So after 5 months and 18 days, that is 168, 1 year, 5 months and 18 days, whenever this 24 degrees is considered, whenever a planet in transit comes to the same 24 degrees, that is like 24 degrees of Leo, 24 degrees of Virgo, 24 degrees of Libra, 24 degrees of Scorpio, which makes trine to the Mars in Cancer. 24 degree Mars, Cancer, 24 degree Scorpio, that becomes a trine. So whenever the transiting planets, ladies and gentlemen, believe me, it is the transiting planets which says about the the triggering of events. So here we consider 24 degrees of any sign natal to transit. Mars is going to give some results. We know Mars is favorable when he occupies 3, 6, 11 to Lagna. That's a general rule. But here we are going to see the Jiva Shesha concept. The Jiva Shesha means when Jupiter is 28 degrees of any sign. Consider Jupiter is in 28 degrees of Cancer. We'll take Cancer only. Why to take other sign? Jupiter 28 degrees Cancer. And Bhrigu Nandinadi says, from the natal Jupiter we have to rotate the events. if the Ketu or Rahu is situated in 1 degree or 2 degrees of Maka Nakshatra. 1 degree is not Gandhanta, still for Ketu a half degree we will consider a Gandhanta. Half degree or 0.10, 0.15 of Makha, 0 degree 15 minutes of Maka Nakshatra is a Gandhanta point. If there is any afflictions and Jupiter is there in 28 days, Jupiter is there in 28 degrees of Cancer, then if you calculate the difference between the Ketu, which is in the Makha, 0 degree 15 minutes, and Jupiter is there in 28 degrees, the difference between Jupiter and Ketu is 2 degree and 15 minutes. So the 2 degree and 15 minutes in converted to days, it becomes it's like a 24 plus 3 days. A half degree is 6 days. So a quarter degrees, that is 15 minutes. 30 minutes is 6 days. 15 minutes is 3 days. And 60 minutes is makes 1 degree, which is 12 days. So 15 minutes means 3 days. So 27 days. So after birth of a child, 27th day, Ketu is going to trigger some event. Yeah. Ketu is going to trigger some event. This is the reason why the Jiva Shesha has to be considered. The Jiva Shesha gives you the exact degree of Jupiter and the correction which has to be done to the nearby planet or the nearby sign. If Jiva Shesha is to be used, just like we have also taken example of Sudarshana Chakra Dasha, where the Lagna degrees is taken and whichever the nearby planet is taken. For example, if you take the again Cancer, Lagna is 25 degrees and a planet is there in Cancer like Sun, which is in 26 degrees. So the difference between 25 and 26 is only 1. So 1 degree is 12 days. So just after the birth, in 12 days, if there is affliction, we have seen that some few the childbirths, they die at a very very young while they were only 12 or 13 days because of a disease. So this is because if there is any affliction which happens nearby the Lagna, if Lagna has a affliction nearby its proximity and a lot of malefics is there and the longevity shows a short lived, we can also determine the events based on the difference between the Lagna degrees, the longitude of Lagna and the longitude of other planets also give you a hint in triggering the event. This is also used in Brigumula Paddhati. Imagine an event of marriage. The longitude of Jupiter and Venus is taken into account. Consider Venus is in Virgo 15 degrees and Jupiter is there in Pisces let us take 10 degrees. So the difference is well, if you ask me, 10 degrees of Pisces and 15 degrees of Virgo. So the promise of marriage is there because Venus and Jupiter is connected. So for any Lagna, you say, it works because Jupiter itself is a Lagna. So we have Venus in the 7th house if we consider Jupiter in Pisces as a Lagna. So the difference between the longitude is 175 counted from Venus. If you take from Venus, it is 175. If you add Virgo 175 to Virgo 15 degrees, it comes to Pisces 10 degrees. So the dead opposite 180 degrees will be Pisces 15 degrees. So 175 degree, if you convert it into days, it becomes 175 into 12. So it is 180 makes it uh, you know uh, it's 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 uh, it's 180 days and for 15 degrees. So how many signs have elapsed now? The 5 signs and 25 degrees. So it is almost 6 signs, which is 6 years. We have to subtract 5 degrees, that is what is 5 degrees? 5 into 12, 60 days, so 2 months. So it's like 5 years and 10 months, 5 years and 10 months. The marriage is going to happen when the marriage is going to happen at 18 years point, where Jupiter comes to Virgo. When Jupiter comes to Virgo, it is 18 years. So we have a 5 year and 10 months. So if you add the Kankana comes when Jupiter comes over the natal Venus in the teenage, 18 something. So if you carefully add 18 years plus 5 years and 10 months, that becomes 23 years and 10 months. So that's like close by 24th year progression. So we can say marriage happens in the 24th year for this native who is having Jupiter in 10 degrees of Pisces and Venus in 15 degrees of Virgo, provided all the other factors match. So this is how you use the degrees. The longitude of a planet and the longitude of other planet, the difference between the longitude of Jupiter and Venus can give you a fixed number of degrees, which you convert it into days. Like 1 degree is 12 days, then 180 degrees becomes 6 years. 6 years, because one sign is 1 year. So 180 degrees is like 30 degrees is one sign. 180 degrees is 6 signs. 6 signs is 6 years. So there was a correction which was made, which is it was actually 175 degree. So 175 degree makes 5 years and 10 months. So this is how the Lagna and the 9 planets, including Rahu, Ketu, their longitude with respect to the transiting Jupiter or the Jiva Pada triggers the image. So the Bhrigumula Paddhati has many sessions. So we will see that one by one. So the starting year is Sagittarius, that is the first year progression. The Capricorn is the second year, Aquarius is the third year, fourth year is Pisces for everyone, fifth year is Aries, sixth year is Taurus, seventh year is Gemini, eighth year is Cancer, ninth year is Leo, 10th year is Virgo, 11th year is Libra, 12th year is Scorpio. This cycle repeats again. In the 13th year Sagittarius comes into picture. This is about the Bhrigumula Paddhati. So if you have any doubts regarding Bhrigumula Paddhati, you please reach out to me in the comments or my Facebook Messenger. I'll be able to help you, and as of now, we just have to wind up this session. So thank you for watching the other class of Brugumula Paddhati. This is Anil K. Achar signing off for today, and have a nice day.